All right, President Trump says he has been ordered to appear in a Miami federal court next week. The Biden Department of Justice informing Trump's lawyers that he will be indicted in the classified documents probe. Trump releasing this response last night.
They're trying to destroy your reputation so they can win an election. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again. I'm innocent, and we will prove that very, very soundly and hopefully very quickly.
Joining me right now is former FBI Assistant Director, former FBI agent and attorney Chris Swecker. Chris, thanks very much for being here. Your reaction to this indictment?
Yeah, extraordinary. I mean, we're in extraordinary times here when with the Attorney General and the Justice Department can basically weaponize the criminal justice system. And I say that because while there may be technical violations here, there's a thing called prosecutive discretion or prosecutorial discretion. I was a former prosecutor. We used it all the time. And that is, you only bring charges when it's in the public best interest of the general public, when there's a legitimate purpose for it. So while there might be technical violations here, this is not a legitimate prosecution from my standpoint. I mean, the intent is not there. There were negotiations ongoing between Trump's attorneys and the Justice Department and archives. And then they just come in with search warrants and grab everything and run. You can't help but compare this to the Biden case and Hillary Clinton, where she got a free pass.
Well, it's just incredible when you think about Hillary Clinton. But let's stick with Biden for a moment. Did Biden do the same thing in terms of classified documents?
Well, yes, in terms of possessing and not properly taking care of or storing these documents, absolutely. I think where they're coming from here, I think they're in a real dilemma here. They have to draw a distinction between this Trump indictment and not indicting if they don't go forward with Biden indictment. What's the difference? And I think they're trying to really thread the needle and trying to bring charges that may not technically fit with the Biden case. And that's why they brought the obstruction charges, I believe. And we think there are obstruction charges in there and false statements. So again, this was a negotiation between attorneys. So it's going to be interesting to see how they apply that to the president, the former president himself, if he wasn't doing the talking and he was fully represented by attorneys.
Yeah, I want to get your take on why now, because Donald Trump Jr. is questioning the timing of this arrest, tweeting that the Trump charges happened on, quote, the same day that a story broke about a whistleblower alleging Joe Biden took a $5 million bribe from Burisma in Ukraine. Yesterday, President Biden was asked why should Americans believe the Department of Justice is fair and independent. Here's the president's response. Watch this.
I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do relative to bringing a charge or not bringing a charge. I'm honest.
I'm honest, he says. For the last several years, Chris, we've been investigating all of the money taken in by Biden and the Biden family from foreign nationals, in particular China. But yesterday we have the story that a whistleblower confirms Biden accepted $5 million from Burisma in exchange for making policy decisions. So where is that? And what do you make of Donald Trump Jr.'s assessment that this is all happening on the same day?
Yeah, I mean, I liken it to sort of political corruption. You rarely get that specific quid pro quo in terms of I'll do this if you do this. But in this case, Merrick Garland and the independent counsel know what they're supposed to do. It doesn't have to be said. They were appointed to those positions. They're political appointments. They're beholden to the Democratic Party and to the president. So they know what their role is. And with respect to Biden, oh my gosh, if I, as a prosecutor, I could prosecute that case tomorrow. Money laundering, FARA violations, all this structuring, 150 or 60 suspicious activity reports, the laptop. The evidence is just, mounting up every day. 8 family members receiving money in their bank accounts. That could go on and on. It's so hard not to make that comparison between Biden and, as I mentioned earlier, the Hillary Clinton case. So this is what gets everybody fired up, the disparity, the obvious disparity between how people to the left of the political spectrum are treated versus the right.
Right. And the Hillary Clinton case, what's the most egregious in your view, Chris?
Yeah, the bleach bit incident. I mean, if you look at the Inspector General report, this young man deliberately, willfully, and with the instructions of the Hillary Clinton staff, maybe not directly her, bleach bit or destroyed all these emails and all this evidence and a computer hard drive. And they say in the report, well, he was too low on the totem pole to prosecute. You know, we don't mess with people. He's just a foot soldier. But that's how you make cases. You work your way up from the foot soldiers to the principals. You know, so many other things. I mean, it's no subpoenas, no search warrants. Mother, may I have those emails instead of playing aggressive hardball as far as prosecution goes.
Yeah, all of this, as everybody knew, that her campaign came up with the lie that Trump colluded with Russia, which, of course, has been the dominating story. Well, certainly dominant during Trump's presidency and his campaign. Chris, thanks very much for your insights on all of this. We appreciate your time. Christopher Swecker joining us, former FBI. Thank you, sir.